All right, welcome back. We are going to cover week 1.5, game 2 of the 2021 Casuals Tournament, which took place in August 2021. I'm joined again by Walter Wight. It appears as though the game is going to be Flag Rally on Grilling Grounds Siege. The Siege being, I believe, a trebuchet. Is that right, Walter?
I think so. Were all these maps just standard with Myth 2 for those that might be logging on and just saying like, "Yeah, I downloaded the original version. I can't find these maps."
No, most of these maps that we played are third-party maps. The assassin map on the Dark Canyon, that was actually a Myth. I think it was a Myth World Cup 2000 something exclusive version. One of the things I find annoying is that oftentimes some map makers will go into some of these third-party plugins and make specific maps just for that one event. If you recall, the legendary Limp Bizkit, who hosted, I believe, the Myth World Cup 2000, he put out a bunch of maps that were sort of Myth World Cup, 2020 versions or things like that, which required a separate download, and then all of a sudden that becomes the map that you need, and everybody gets kind of confused, and it turns into a big hassle. But maybe that's just me. I don't know.
It's not just you. If we wanted to go into that, the ultimate reason, I guess, was that a particular player that was playing in that tournament, uh, and there wasn't one on any given tournament, but there was someone that basically looked into the unit trades and everything and decided that actually one trade was not favorable. And so that's actually why you started to see some kind of crazy maps come out later on, where basically the veteran players would say, well, technically, on a 1 in 100 chance, there could be the possibility that you would get like an extra unit sort of thing. And that's essentially what preempted those like yearly, I guess, releases for the tournament's purposes.
I see.
It got that granular.
Okay, well, by and large, though, yes, a lot of these maps are third parties. If you happen to want to play with us on Gata Storms, you will likely have to go to what is it, tane.totalcodex.net, I believe, which is sort of a repository for the various third-party maps, and there will also be several maps that are not on the Tane. You could
And they're
probably
easy to download in game if you need, like, if a game shows up as red, if you're in the lobby or whatever, you can double click and then you'll see like a little download button. And so ultimately, it shouldn't be ever an issue, but sometimes it is.
yeah, and I would also say that the third option is to join the Mirgard Discord and just shout out, hey, I don't have this map. Can anybody give me a link? And more often than not, someone will be friendly enough to help you out. So those are your three options for getting some of these maps. And hopefully, if you're listening to us, you will take us up on our offer to play some Gate Storms games with us. But enough
And
of
join
that.
the community and like don't think that we're going to be judgmental. We know that it's a little bit of a hassle, but the game is worth it.
Absolutely. Even if regular myth is something that isn't in my wheelhouse, it's absolutely fun when you're playing with the right people, when you're playing in a very casual setting, such as in this tournament. And, with that, should we jump into this game really quick?
Yeah, I think that we gave enough of a preface.
Yeah, I might need to cut out that 2 minute
All of
speech.
it.
Yeah. All right, here we go. All right, again with the long planning time. So we have plenty of stuff to talk about. As you can see, the siege variant of this map has the legendary siege unit, the trebuchet from medieval times. Um, and I mean, we have yet to see how the players will trade, but knowing Empy, he always likes some of these new gadgets, some of these new toys that fall into his hands. So I would expect him to get maximum trebuchets, perhaps unit
And I
trades
don't know that
off.
they're a default unit on this. I don't think that, I think you actually do get to choose how many you would want, but you also keep in mind that a lot of these casual players love a variant of Myth that is World War II, and that is highly artillery oriented. And so you think of a player like Empey, of course he's going to love the one major thing that's like a cannon or like a tank or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just quickly analyzing the unit trade, it appears as though MP has really fallen in love with the Stygian Knight. Of course, the Stygian Knights are immune to arrows, which may be somewhat valuable in a flag rally game. Unfortunately, though, they also have a weakness to explosions. Um, so we'll see how MP's team can deal with that. It appears as though they maxed the Dwarven mortars rather, and he's also got a handful of warriors and about a dozen bowmen. Um, let me just also say quickly that Team MP is the man himself, MP Phil, you, Walter White, Selah, Drunken Deer, and Spy. Team Gerall, a very similar trade actually. It appears as though Team Gerall has about four fewer archers. He instead has a few more goals. I think an extra white and a bunch more of the warriors. So, what do you think of these unit trades so far?
I would argue on behalf of, I think again, Gerald's trade. It seems like you're not going to get as easily duped with a high warrior trade against the trebuchets because they are hypothetically high impact but low reload speed. And so the fact that Gerald has gotten so many warriors, it seems like if MP's team can, well, no, it seems like if Gerald team can basically take out MP's Stigs, they're at a significant advantage. That said, I don't see much healing on Gerald's side, so maybe possible play an impact here. We'll see.
Yeah, we do see Gerald finally getting around to healing. However, one thing you might notice is that he basically doesn't have anybody on defense. These goals are obviously going to sort of move north and try and get some pus going. MP Mint does, however, have a force on flag number two, and these trebuchets are getting to work. We'll have to see how much damage they can do. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna zoom out and show this sort of middle battle. Most of these grilling grounds games do come down to just a giant middle battle.
But who can play that trebuchet the best?
Yeah,
I see a line of archers on the MP Mint chip side that are very vulnerable to a single shot, maybe kill them all. But on the other end, they're not very visible to the in terms of a game of war or a fog of war. So maybe they're not seen.
I also believe that the trebuchets they have a pretty wide spread, so wherever you control click or wherever you aim is not necessarily where the cannonball is going to actually end up. So it is a bit of a risk. We see overdose.
which is MP's strength though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. We see
I
some.
mean, he just took out a huge portion again.
Yeah, what we're seeing now though is MP Mint's team surrounding Reekfish. Oh, actually, Walter Wight, you could have pinched this force right here. You and Selah could have taken out Reekfish, but it looks like he's gonna he's gonna get killed anyway. Yeah, Reekfish not having a good day so far.
Keep in mind with the trebuchets, they are something that can just obliterate a force.
Flag captured.
And all players don't exactly know their full potential.
Yeah,
With this, it's like it's a matter of when to rush. And so now you see Walter White rushing in, and now everyone has to just kind of keep retreating, even though the forces would have been technically destroyed by a single shot. The fact of the matter was, once you get close enough, the trebuchet can't shoot. And so then you can be as clustered as you want, and you can take out everything. Except for that, that was a good shot by you, Overdose, I think. The little, yep, that guy.
I do have 5 kills.
Yeah, you had a great shot there.
And the Trebuchet
Dead.
succumbing to Walter White's middle rush.
And also, okay, so there's 2 trebuchets on MP's team, and to 1 left on Geral's, run by
Father Xmas,
Xmas.
yeah, who is shooting, it appears, everywhere except the enemy soldiers.
He tried.
At this point,
the
at this
the
point,
the
MP
flaming
Phil has
thing that MP just
victory
did.
imminent, so they just have to tag flag number 3.
So this, I think that the game is almost close to done. I would say that the fact that MP took the trebuchets is the exact move that I would have done for him. The one problem is like he hates to have to be the person that has to trade and distribute, but he did a decent job. And ultimately, I think the team that was going to win this was the team that could run the trebuchets best. And if I were capping either of these teams, I probably would have given MP all of the trebuchets, which he chose for himself. But
Flag.
yeah, no, I think it was the right choice. It's one of his talents. He understands like those like long. It's essentially in World War II what you call
Over.
a Zook long shot or something. Is that right? I don't know. They're basically bullshit shots, but like you understand like the distance. MP can kill you on any of those every day of the week.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could see his trebuchet Letitby. The name of the unit is Letitby. I don't know what that means, but it does have 23 kills. You can see indicated by the shields. He had so many kills that they were all just sort of consolidated. And then
Yeah, what did he mean by Letitby? I wonder if he chose that or if someone else did.
that's just the name of the unit. I don't know. But yeah, I
He
mean,
named it that.
I don't think that there is any dispute MP Mint Chip with a dominant performance, 31 kills, 112 damage. He's clearly the MVP of this game, as much as it pains me to say this. I mean, people like Drunken Deer, Selah, Spy, you, Walter Wight, put up good amounts of damage. But, I mean, it's really just a dominant performance by MP with that trebuchet. Yeah. Anything else you have to say?
No, I think it was a fun match. I don't think. I guess the one thing I would want to say is that it was not a game that uh, would be played on an MWC stage. The fact that there was that rare unit of basically this trebuchet, which I feel like is a valid unit.
Well, I mean, if we're going with the sort of medieval theme, then it absolutely fits. Now, the fact that I think people aren't really familiar with the unit is what turns a lot of people off. But I agree with you when you say that this unit actually fits in quite nicely with a medieval theme, which is what we have here. So yeah, I mean, I'm all for
And
it.
it may attract people like World War II users, or you know,
Well, I
however it
mean,
is. But
we have MP Mint Chip leading the way, and perhaps a trailblazer in the future trebuchet battles that are to come in future myth games. But
the most fun, it is a casuals game and leads to casuals fun.
absolutely. So yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to say. I don't think at any point during the game Team Giral really had any kind of chance. They were not able to put any momentum together. And they just more or less got steamrolled again on the back of that MP Mint Chip Trebuchet. So, yeah, I mean, that's all she wrote pretty much. Anything else you'd like to add?
I think I added too much already.
All right, well, on to the next one.